U.S. President Barack Obama warned Sunday that it would be a complete mistake to send Western troops into Syria to overthrow the regime of President Bashar al-Assad. In an interview with BBC, he said the United States would continue strikes against the Islamic State group while continuing efforts to broker a transition deal between the Assad regime and his moderate Syrian opponents. President Obama says, Syria has been a heartbreaking situation of enormous complexity, and I don't think there's any simple solutions. And he said this during a visit to London, which ended Sunday. Yeah, there's a simple solution. One hydrogen bomb in Mosul, one hydrogen bomb in Raqqa. And send out international warrants for all 500 or so Syrian guys America and the Allies trained, and find out who they recruited and shut it all down and arrest all intelligence officers in the area, beefing it up along with the bankers and everybody else funding them. That's a simple solution. It could happen within 72 to 128 hours. It's a real simple solution. Stop the global wars for the bullshit corporations and the pharmaceutical industries. So basically he said it would be a mistake for the United States or Great Britain or any combination of Western states to send ground troops to overthrow the Assad regime. But I do believe that we can apply international pressure to all the parties, including Russia, Iran, who essentially are propping up Assad, as well as those moderate oppositions that exist, and maybe fighting inside of Syria to sit down at the table and try to broker a transition. Ooh, sorry. It's allergy season. So, this is what his basic idea is, folks. And it goes on to say the truce brokered by Russia and the United States had raised hopes for the United Nations back talks in Geneva this month, and it would help resolve the 5-year conflict. No, it's not going to resolve any conflict, because they want, after they bring down Raqqa and Mosul and disrupt the Islamic State, they want to go in and set up the new Palestinian state. This is what they want. You can disagree with me all you want, but the Bible, Quran, and all the holy books say that they have to go into Israel. And eventually, U.S. has to put troops in Syria and go into Israel. That's what it says. And if you read your Bible, even poorly, it even says when that happens. There is that big Arab army waiting in Saudi Arabia, or at least it's on notice, at least. But basically, it talks about Babylon and everything else. And if you notice, the United States actually has a plan to erect the Arch of Babylon in several states in the United States after the arch was destroyed, the original arch was destroyed by the Islamic State. And they want to actually erect tributes to Baal, the pagan god of the old Babylonian religions. And basically, if you don't know your history, ladies and gentlemen, when the Catholics were in the Arabian Peninsula, they did not look at those people as people, so they resurrected the old Babylonian religion in the form of Islam. Now that's what I hear, but I'm certain there were tribes and stuff that already practiced most of that anyways, so all they did was they kind of twisted things a little. So anyways, and now he's saying sending troops to Syria would be a mistake. It would not be a mistake. It would not be a mistake, and it would not be a mistake worth making. The thing is he does not want this thing over and done yet. So this is the problem here, folks. And basically more than 270,000 people have been killed since Syria's conflict broke out in 2011. And he thinks bringing people to the table to talk is necessary. I'll agree with him on one point, that not every single thing has to involve ground troops. But you have to have common sense, and you have to know when you're staring at someone who does not want this thing to be taken down. He has many, 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 many different reasons why Syria is up to exist, and many reasons why I believe he probably believes America should enter Israel. You know what, I'm going to back off that a little bit, because that's not fair to Israel. I don't wish them harm or anything, but there is that massive amount of oil in that region, folks. And everybody and anybody has their eyes set on that oil. I mean, there's like three major, what would be considered an ocean of oil in that one region, especially going into the area where they want to put the new Palestinian state. And they can't do that because Israel will not just up and sign a declaration saying, here, we now give you part of our territory and agree for the Palestinian state to exist so that you can now take the oil. Because they obviously know about the oil, and they've been, they're actually taking up the oil where they can. I'm certain they probably have companies set up in the Golan Heights area. I'm certain they have it mapped out as well. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, folks. Very interesting to see what happens. Very interesting to see what happens. They froze my computer, folks. I can't do anything.